Hi, it's Jane, and I think I'm gonna knit again today. Do need to work a little bit on it, so I'm gonna work on that. And have the cats over here helping me. I have iced coffee today. Today it's a little warm. It's been cooler past couple of days, and then today it's warm. Started out the day in a long sleeve sweatshirt type shirt, and got home from Bible study and immediately changed into something cooler. And I had already turned the heat down this morning when I started out, so thought I'd be ahead of the game, but man, it's warmer than I thought it would be. The city came back out and they dug up part of their stuff, and then they asphalted around that city main that they put in, and it's not too thrilled about the way that they did it, because they put these blocks out and everything, and they block off a major portion of the street. And because the gentleman who owns most land up here put those concrete pylons down there, it's pretty slim path to get through, so it's rather interesting to get through that. And there is no way to go around. If you live further up, you have to go up that past that, and some of those trucks will not fit through there, so I don't know how they're going to get through. They'll probably knock the pylons down and go on. You know, the orange cones. If I know the one guy that drives up that way, that's exactly what he'll do. Or he'll get out and he'll move them out of the way and drive over that wet asphalt. Yeah, he's that kind of guy. Is he? Izzy. Stop it. Izzy. She's trying to bury her food. She's OCD today, big time. She keeps walking over there to bury the food. So she's scratching at the bowls. She makes me nuts too sometimes. So yeah, I had gone out today to Walmart to look for a few things, and I completely forgot two of the things I needed to get, so I've got to go back out later this week. I'm not sure when I'll do that, if at all. So we'll see. I've got my dining room table. I have it stacked with everything that I'm ready to pack my Operation Christmas Child boxes. And I've got a couple, sorry about that, couple of things that I'm waiting on to get here that are some Ziploc bags that are 4 milliliters thick that I use for the pencil bags, where I put pens, pencils, highlighter, and eraser, and the pencil sharpener, those kind of things. Slip them down into it and then zip it closed, so it's a little bit easier, compact. And so I'm waiting on those to get here. They were supposed to be here yesterday, so hopefully they'll show up today. At least that's what I'm hoping. So I can get those finished and get those boxes packed and ready to take to church. So, and then what I do is, with all the leftovers, I'll finish making a couple of other pencil packs like that, and then also taking some gallon Ziploc bags and kind of making a pocket with them, putting duct tape on them. Basically, you fold up the bottom towards the top, duct tape all the way around the bottom, the entire bottom. Then you have a pocket where you can slip in, like some stickers and different things like that into it. And then you can put the crayons and all the stuff in the gallon Ziploc bag part, where you unzip it. And they last quite a long time, so it's a good choice if you don't have an opportunity to buy some zipper pouches. So that's an option, and maybe I'll show you how to do that, do a little video later on to show you how to make those bags, because they're pretty easy. Difficult part is finding a system that works for you, honestly. Because you don't really have, if you just lay the bag up, you fold it up, you have a hard time doing putting the duct tape on it. The easiest way I've found is putting duct tape along the bottom half of it, at the very bottom, and then folding it up from there, doing it that way. That seems to work the best, but there's all kinds of ways of doing it, so. That's what I found works the best for me. Otherwise, it's hard to hold it there in that first place where you need it to be, to get it that way. So, yeah, it's just a matter of working it however works best for you. And you can do the same thing with the clear zip bags that I get for the pencils. You can actually take the duct tape and take it around the bag itself a couple of times. And sometimes I do that. It just depends, And I try to get some of the more decorative tapes out there. Fun tapes like bees on them and sunflowers and flowers, the rainbows, maybe a unicorn. And duct tape comes, in all kinds of different flavors. So you can do that, or you can just use straight plain colors, like red, black. You get a lot more duct tape when it's the plain colors. So that is something to consider. Sorry, I need to answer this. CVS wanting me to fill some prescriptions, so get those filled. Taken care of and out of the way. So yeah, that's kind of what my day has consisted of so far. I had company over the other day and found that apparently I have already put up Halloween decorations, didn't realize it. Cobwebs. It amazes me how quickly those appear. I'm like, seriously? I have cobwebs? And, it's things like, I have those, what's called fractured glass, cracked glass, over the sink, which that's not where I wanted them. I wanted them over the dining room table. That's not where they got put up. And that's cobwebs are there in between, the lights. So So I'm going around with the duster trying to get all the cobwebs out. Who knew I decorated for Halloween? I sure didn't realize I had. So do you guys celebrate Halloween at all? I don't think there will be, because like I said, there's only a couple of kids. So I know there won't be kids going house to house trick-or-treating. And I normally don't light up the house anyway. Just because I found with the way that our city does the Halloween parade, and then the merchants downtown do this trick-or-treat thing, and there's no reason, to have it. Plus, I think every church now does trunk or treats throughout the last week of Halloween, prior to Halloween, so kids have plenty of places to go to get candy. I don't know if I'm going to put up Christmas decorations this year or not. Just haven't decided yet. Of course, a lot of that depends on if the house sells before Christmas or not. Who knows? Last night at Awana, we had, filming this on Thursday. Last night at Awana, we had kids dressed up in all kinds of costumes. We had one young man that had a hand-painted shirt, and in the style of Vincent van Gogh. He was wearing a French beret, had a mustache, and I asked him, I said, "So you're Vincent van Gogh?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Oh, must have been before you cut off your ear." He started laughing. He goes, "I told Mom we should have put a bandage over my ear. That way people would be able to get it quickly." I said, "But I'm surprised you got it. Everybody else thought I was Monet." I'm like, "Why would they think you were Monet?" I said, "The picture on your shirt is definitely Vincent van Gogh." So we had a good laugh about that. And one of the kids came, he had this plastic bat wings on and a bat headpiece. And I was teasing him. I said, "Isn't that kind of hot?" He said, "No, it's just plastic. It's not hot." So we had a good talk about that. He finished doing his verses, and he's doing pretty well. He's learned that one of the first things I ask him is, "So what does it mean, like when it says God will restore us, what does restore mean? What's the meaning of the verse?" So we get a little discussion going, and sometimes he's not real sure, so we'll kind of discuss it a little, and he really enjoys it. But I have one young man, I really don't know what is going on with him. He doesn't bring his book, forgets it all the time, doesn't work on anything at home. I don't know if his parents work with him at all on it. And sometimes you don't know if the kids are just dropped off, so the parents can have a little quick date night or whatever, a little break from the kids or whatnot. But interesting to see. Different kids and trying to work with them, and he doesn't want to do it. Doesn't want to color, doesn't want to do anything other than play the games. So, sometimes you just have to let them do what they're going to do and just continue to hope and pray that they'll learn something. And we had to bring in quite a few substitutes this week. A couple of our people were out because of previous engagements, those kind of things. One of them had a family medical emergency, so she had to step out. And at church, I'm on the Greek team. Now they've got this app that notifies you when you're a greeter. And I have to laugh at it because generally they ask us to be there at 8:30 so that we can start greeting people as they come in. Church starts at 9 o'clock, but the app says that I'm greeter at 9 a.m. So I always find it funny. I laugh about that. And of course, I'd volunteered. We had one young man that had a wedding that he needed to go to. So I volunteered to take his spot so he could go to the wedding and not have to worry about anything. But it's a neat little app, you know. Because they send you an email and then they send you a text message. Text message the night before. I'm wondering if they'll remind me that I need to turn back my clocks. That happens this weekend, folks, and I'm not happy about that. Because then we're out in the darkness. That's what it seems like. Outside in the darkness. I really wish that we would quit doing this daylight savings time. It doesn't save a thing. Because you know when you get up, you got to turn all the lights on. So I just think it's rather stupid. And Congress keeps promising that they're going to stop it, but we haven't seen that happen yet. So, of course, the problem with that is it causes a lot of problems the following week. Next couple of weeks can be kind of dangerous. A lot of people fall asleep while driving. People have more heart attacks after that because of the stress of the time change. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy things that happen with that time change, so maybe someday we'll stop it. Either that or I need to move to Arizona. Isn't it Arizona that doesn't follow that stupid daylight savings time stuff? Who knows? So what are you working on today? Are you working on current projects? Have you started a new project? My newest project is crocheting hacky sacks for the Operation Christmas Child. I'm going to have a packing party, so I've been making those things and made some tags so that I can slip those onto the hacky sacks. Either that or put them in a sandwich bag with the tag. Haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. Thought maybe I should just buy some stick-on labels, you know, but because the problem is the folks when they are doing the distributing, when they've gone to the processing center, if they don't know what it is, they need to remove it out of the package. And I'll show those Monday, what they look like. But you kind of have to put what they have inside of them. Like I use poly beads most of the time. Sometimes I use pony beads because they work just as well. But you have to have a label that lets people know that there are poly beads in it. And generally what I do is, the labels that I have or add with them or attached to them say handmade with cotton yarn filled with poly beads, or, handmade with acrylic yarn filled with pony beads, that kind of thing, so they know what's on the inside of them. Sorry about that, folks. Didn't sleep well. So I'm really tired today. Guess that just means I'll go to bed early, won't it? In our neighborhood here, we have seen so many deer this year. It is crazy. I think I told you one of the deer that comes down, she had 3 fawns this year. So her and the 3 fawns come down. And it's kind of funny because they each try to still nurse. And they're at the point where they shouldn't be nursing anymore at all. And she'll generally kick them away, which I think is funny because they eat. They're able to eat leaves and the clover and some of the grasses that are there. So, but yeah, we have just had tons of deer. When I left out this morning to go to Bible study, I had 4 deer in the front yard. And they just watched me back out like, where are you going? Yeah. Just strikes me funny the way that they act. You don't really expect them to be that nonchalant. In the past, they've taken off running when I start to come out the driveway, but this year they just seem to be sitting there waiting, watching. I've seen the bear 3 times this year. Normally he doesn't get down this low. Normally he stays up a little higher, but this time he came down looking for food. Of course, I put out the cat food that the cats won't eat. Put that out there because I know the deer will eat it as well. When I put out the bird seed for the birds, they will eat that as well. So, yeah, it's just interesting to see that many deer this year. And the cats have enjoyed it because they get to go back and sit and watch. And of course, Ronan talks to him. He meows. He has to tell him to get off his lawn, I guess. I don't know what he's doing, but then he comes running at me, mewing. Like, can't you do something with him? But yeah, it's just interesting to see that many deer down this way. Wonder what it's going to be like when the winter hits. Because I see a lot of the deer in the winter, the fall and winter mostly. I occasionally see them in the spring. I hear them more than see them in the spring. They're pretty skittish in the spring, trying to protect the new babies, that kind of thing. So, but occasionally we see them out. Not always, but telling you, this phone's driving me nuts today. Oh, boy. So do you have any plans for Christmas decorations? Are you planning on making any Christmas decorations? I do have one thing I would like to make. I don't know if I'm going to get the opportunity, time to do it, but I would like to make it. So I'm thinking about trying that out. Trying to make some time to make it. Trying to also, because I generally like to make little small gift packs for some of my friends, for my, mostly for my prayer partners. We meet Friday mornings, so I like to give a little knick-knack gift, you know, that kind of thing with that. And last year I had done those fuzzy socks, and everybody loved those, so I'm thinking maybe I'll get some fuzzy socks again this year. And trying to determine if I want to include some lotion or something else instead of it. Just haven't quite decided. Part of me says maybe a chapstick this year. Seems like whenever I need chapstick, I always forget to get it and have to go in search of it to find it. So I know that's not always a big gift on people's list, but you know, sometimes just having a little cutesy thing is helpful. And generally what I do is I just buy a package of those little small gift bags and toss them in there. And they get to pick and choose which one they want. That way I don't have to worry about it. You know, pretty generic, so. And I know some of the women like to make things, you know, like make some brownies and toss in some brownies, or a little snack pack for folks. So try to do something a little differently. Now I don't know what I'm going to do with my bigger Bible group. We had talked about just getting together and not even worrying about doing any little gift exchanges. So, still trying to decide what to do there. And we have next week, we have a little women's get together. It's one of those things that runs from like 2 to 8 o'clock at night. We're going to be doing little crafts here and there, that kind of thing. So that'll be a bit of fun. There's a big craft fair coming up. I'm trying to decide if I want to just go walk the halls and be tempted to buy things or not. Because there are always such pretty, beautiful things there. So, don't know if I'm going to go or not. My CPAP is going well. They did change out the machine, thankfully. And part of that was because otherwise it has a SD card in it, and I would have to bring the SD card in once a month for them to read it, take the readings off of it, in order to send into the insurance, see if I'm compliant, all this nonsense, that kind of thing. But they decided to change it to where one that can be read remotely. And when the nurse had brought it out, I said to her, well, I don't know why you guys didn't do this in the first place. So, and her first thought was, and she told me, she'd said straight out, that was what they had set out for her to give to me because of Medicare. I said, yeah, but Medicare, you have to show that you're compliant. And how can you show you're compliant if you can't get the readings? I said, it's ridiculous because this company is in State College. They used to have an office here locally, but they closed it down, and which quite honestly is a pain in the butt since they closed it down, because, I don't want to have to travel there every month to take an SD card for them to read. So, and she determined, because my doctor had called and asked, she wants to see how many incidents that I'm having per night of low oxygen, that kind of thing. And she also wanted to be able to know what the settings were, because I have a setting that always wakes me up. It's not at 20. It's a little bit lower. It's about 16, and it always wakes me up. Wakes me up feeling like I'm being strangled by air. So, of course, she can't get those readings because it had an SD card in it, and, she's not stopping by to pick it up. And I said, if they're willing to pay you for your travel on the way home, and then also for you to pick up that SD card, I could see that it wouldn't be an issue. But if I have to drive it in every month, it's a pain in the butt. So anyway, they did get that changed out, and I'm glad for that. It was going to be a major pain in the butt anyway to have to constantly deal with it in that manner. But yeah, so I had to laugh yesterday watching the rally with Trump in, was it Wisconsin, I think, where he was wearing the vest for the garbage man. And it was funny listening to his story. I mean, you have to hand it to Trump. He is funny. He is hilarious at times. And the way that he was trolling the left about Joe Biden's statement about the Trump people being garbage, which, quite frankly, if you listen to the entire thing and not just the 15-second that was played, he meant it. He either meant it as a way to get at Harris and derail her campaign because from what I understand, there's a lot of in-house fighting between them. He can't stand her and she can't stand him right now, so who knows what's true, right? And what's not true. But I did think it was funny that he wore that vest out there. The whole story about the garbage truck and everything, it was just funny listening to it. Now then, this morning I get on and someone has already sent me one of the things, and I follow Kamala headquarters and Kamala as a VP anyway on X. So I did see it, and quite honestly, what this campaign did is probably the lowest of low I've ever seen. They actually took that speech where he was talking about wearing the vest and, you know, the whole issue with the garbage truck and worrying about not being able to get up in it and all that kind of stuff. Well, they had done a voiceover using AI and basically making it say that he was going to make some kind of regulations whether women liked it or not. And that is not what he said. He was actually talking about wearing that vest. But that is one of the reasons that I am so against Harris and this campaign, because that is not only disgusting, it's despicable, and it's evil. And, you know, if you've followed any of the information that Candace Owen has done about Kamala and some of the things that she has been involved with, there are allegations from several people that she assisted the drug cartels because she was going after the minor drug dealers that were just signing up and leaving the drug cartels alone. And that's very evident with what you see. She's lied about her record as prosecuting people. Most of the people she prosecuted were children and parents. So she just, she's a little bit on the evil side, and I just have a little bit of problem with that. And just this whole idea of her campaign actually doing something like that. It just tells me she will not be an honest politician at all. She will always backstab people and do things to piss people off. And I don't think she's right for the country. So, yeah. For Democrats who say that Republicans, when they go low, they go high, you're missing the mark, folks. You're just proving that you are absolutely disgusting in the way that you do things politically. It's wrong. You should be more honest. She continues to talk about there being an abortion ban. Folks, Roe versus Wade is law. There will be no abortion ban. The only thing that they've done is hand it back to the states. States can decide for themselves. Most of the states are letting their constituents vote to determine what they want. And as far as I know, there are no abortion bans to this date, and most likely there will never be abortion bans. I mean, our society is too evil for that. So you're never going to see that. And, I'm one of those people that I think there are certain circumstances for abortion that are appropriate, but they're very limited. So, yeah. And I don't know, it just scares me the way that the left has so embraced this indoctrination of children that they're mature enough to decide at 5 or 6 that they're in the wrong body because teachers have told them they're in the wrong body. And this whole idea that it's okay, you have to affirm it, and then give them these puberty blocking drugs. Not only that, but these drugs that will make them sterile. And most likely, most of them will, at some point down the line, come back and regret those decisions. Most people are not mature enough until you're 25 to handle decisions like that, but I feel, if someone is 18 years old and they decide they want to go that route, that's different because that's what we consider legal age. But before that, no. I think we should be teaching people to be more confident in themselves and their body. And to realize that sometimes things are a passing phase. So, yeah, it's just sad, some of the things that we're doing to children these days and just being perfectly okay with it. And I'm not sure why the psychiatric community has decided to go along with this, unless they're being forced to by government. Who don't always have our best interests at heart, quite frankly. So, yeah. But anyway, I do enjoy a good laugh, and I do enjoy the whole idea of Trump trolling all those people and all these different campaigns, because the man has a sense of humor, And then I am super proud of those people who are embracing the garbage statement. And, my favorites are some of those videos where people are showing Fashion Week, taking a garbage bag and turning it into fashion so they can wear it to vote at the polls. Those crack me up. Some of those people are very creative. So yeah, that's been rather interesting. Well, I am going to go. I have a couple of other things I need to do. So I will see you again later on this week. In the meantime, everybody have a great week. And remember, don't let those elephants and donkeys drive too big a wedge among us. There'll be another election, and we'll get through this. See you again soon. Bye.